Hello everyone, welcome to my bedroom again. So in the last video, we talked about embodiment through sex. I would like to continue our fun, sexy, very deep, serious talk also about sexual fantasies this week. Like and share and subscribe and everything, and you can donate if you like this knowledge, and check out my books on Amazon and on my website and all these things. All right, let me just fix this camera. All right, everyone. How is everyone doing in this crazy times? Crazy times. So let's talk about sexual fantasies. Sexual fantasies are very helpful to get to know ourselves. I spoke about the last video in embodiment through sex about the basic mastery for any human being, really, which is what Jesus was trying to teach people, but they took it completely different places, is know thyself. So really the only mastery, it ends and it begins with knowing ourselves. So with sexual fantasies, we have an opportunity to truly get to know deepest parts of our subconscious mind. And they are very helpful to us. The problem is that people get stuck in them, in their fantasies, too long, obsessively sometimes. And so you don't get the healing or growth from them. And you just get stuck in the same patterns and cycles. Sexual fantasies are here to help us evolve and grow and heal. But again, because people don't know how to use them, they think that their fantasy, their fetish, their desires, their everything that they want sexually, that's it. But really, it's just a little doorway that helps you. And if you walk through it, you will be able to discover a whole new world of who you are and really empower yourself through them. So our purpose is evolution as human beings. So use your fantasies to get to know your shadow and transmute it. If they still control you, then you haven't healed, and it will remain in the same frequency as before. Also, these obsessions with our fantasies can and will become a bigger issue. Obsession and even mental illnesses that can hurt you or even others later on. This is how, if we take it really to the dark side, this is how rapists are born and pedophiles, and I'm not even sure we can say that word in YouTube anymore. It's offensive to some people. It is people that haven't healed their trauma, and their fantasies, their fetish that evolved from the trauma has become a bigger and bigger issue, because they haven't healed it. They became obsessed with it instead of using it as a tool to grow and heal. So, all right. The shadow evolves. So if you don't contain it, heal it, and face it, it will take a hold of you eventually. This is basically the bottom line. It is vital to understand and know our fantasies, because it is how the subconscious mind points out our unhealed shadow, trauma, and unmet needs. The subconscious is so important. This is why dreams and fantasies are highly important. Also symbols, dreams, fantasies, they all work through the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind works through symbolism. So, fantasizing through sex. Fantasizing during sex, or during an intercourse. Are you or your partner fantasize in your imagination during your sexual intercourse? Are you or your partner fantasizing about doing something different, or even with a different person? This is a highly important question to ask and to discuss with yourself, first of all. And then if you feel very safe and open with your partner, also, of course, communicate this with your partner if you have a very strong relationship that can contain it and help you guys heal and grow from it. When you are fantasizing while making love to your partner, you are basically taking yourself out of the current moment, out of your body. This is a huge thing to understand and to realize that when you do so, there is something that you are running away from in the present moment. perhaps something that you don't want to feel or experience, or you want to numb yourself to, right? Something you want to escape from. I mean, presence really is the biggest gift that we can give our partner, both men and women, but especially men to women, because women really, we need to feel your presence. If we don't feel your presence outside of bed as well, like not just in bed, but if we don't feel your presence 24/7, it physically hurts a conscious woman. Like there's no other way to explain it. And so this is a very important thing to observe. And of course, like I said in the other video, I can't give you all the examples and go like, because it's endless. Every person is their own universe. And so I'm trying to give you tools and questions so you can begin to observe yourself, your fantasies, your desires, even fetishes, if it goes so far. Don't be, I'm inviting you to put all the shame and guilt aside and really give yourself the safe space to observe everything within you, and give your partner the safe space as well. Perhaps it is a time, if you have a partner, perhaps it is a time to really have a conversation about fantasies and fetishes, or things that they always wanted to do but never did, right? Bring it up, just speak about it, just talk about it, and try to kind of dig deep and see where is that coming from? What is the deep need, right? What is the deep need that lies behind the fantasy or the fetish or that desire, the sexual desire, all right? Where is it really coming from? What is it? A good question, another good question is, what does it symbolize to you, right? So what does that fantasy symbolizes to you? I can be very vulnerable and give you an example of one of my fantasies. So one of my biggest fantasy, and this is, by the way, a fantasy that most women have, if not all women, I can promise you that. This is very basic. This is why I feel comfortable sharing this with you here. And of course, I want to be as open as possible. So for example, one fantasy I always had is to have sex with two men. So I've never done it. I've never actually done it. I'm not planning on doing it, by the way, also because it's not something that I need now, because I've already discovered, again, I've done the work and I've discovered where it's coming from. So I don't have the crazy physical need to have sex with two men. But the fantasy, again, it is a symbol from my subconscious of a need that is coming from a deeper place. So what was that need, right? My whole life when I had that fantasy, it is that for me, again, this could be different for other women. I've met women who had that fantasy, but for them, I worked with them, and for them, it came actually from a deep, deep trauma, from rape or from things like that. For me, thank Goddess and thank the Mother, it's coming from a place of deep yearning to feel and get to know the masculine in all its forms. And really, and also another layer of it is to be fully surrendered and fully filled, right? Like literally filled with the light of the masculine, of the divine masculine. So this is where my fantasy comes from, right? I know that not all women are like me, and for every woman, their fantasy can come from a different place. So it is your responsibility to explore yourself and explore your own subconscious desires and needs, where they come from. And when you get to know that, you don't have that desire anymore. I mean, when we really start doing this work from a deep place, I mean, we are going to heal so many people, and we're going to have so many less sexual traumas happening in the world, because people who sexually traumatize other people are just traumatized themselves, and they've never healed their wounds, and so their subconscious is controlling them, and it's just a cycle that never ends. So this is our opportunity, people, to evolve and to do something different and to really get to know ourselves. Know thyself. So that was my example. This is your responsibility to really get to know all of your fantasies. You can even write them down and just explore them deeply. All right. So I invite you to fully be present and release any fantasies that may come up in your imagination. Do not let them control you, and do not let them to continue. Bring yourself back into your body, into this moment, into your partner, if you have a partner, and feel everything that you're feeling fully, even if it's not comfortable. This is, I went back to sexual play, right? So like if you're having sex and your mind wanders to a different person or a fantasy, be present. Bring yourself to this moment. Feel, what is it that I'm trying to escape from? Why am I not in this moment? What is the reason that I don't want to be in this moment? And then I'm allowing my imagination take me away from this fully present moment. Because remember, I always say, and I write it in my books, and I always repeat this, sex is a portal. And so when you're opening a portal with someone, you're always opening a portal with someone when you're having sex. Like you're always doing it. The question is what kind of a portal you're opening, what kind of an energy you're opening. So perhaps you're having sex with someone that you're opening a very negative portal, or I'm just trying to put it in very simple terms. And perhaps that is the reason that you don't want to be present. You subconsciously feel this is not this is not a good, healthy place to be in. Or perhaps it has something to do with the partner, or perhaps it has something to do with you. You have to take responsibility for your consciousness, for your awareness in any given moment. All right. This is what a true lover does, by the way. This is what a real divine lover does. It is being in full presence, beyond, knowing exactly where to touch the other person and what to do and all the technical things. You are present. That's what your partner needs from you. All right. So if you're fantasizing during intercourse with another person, there is a huge shadow behind the fantasy. So discover it. A shadow that is blocking you from experiencing something. As a sex priestess, we are facing all shadows all the time when I work with people, when I observe people, when I observe the collective consciousness, sexual energy. I just deal with endless shadows. It's endless. And it's fascinating. It's also very scary when people don't know how to take responsibility and work with their shadows. It is scary because it is very quickly can become something very dangerous and even demonic. So when we do this, we also inspire our partners to do so. When we start working on our shadow, taking responsibility, we give permission to our partners. And if our partners doesn't do it, maybe that's not the right partner. Maybe, we need to find someone who wants to do the work that we do. So, all right, ask yourself, what are you avoiding through this fantasy? I'm giving you a few examples of questions. Obviously, for every human being and every situation, it will be a completely different story, but I'm giving you examples so you can start kind of playing with this. What reality or feeling or emotion are you running away from? Remember that fantasies are also from the subconscious mind, and they may speak to us in symbols. So when you are speaking to your fantasy, trying to go beyond it, to see what it's blocking you from. So like really observing the symbolism of your fantasy. Okay. Go beyond them. I write about it in my first book, Sex Magic Evolution 2, with the dream work and with the fantasy work. I write about how to do this work and really understanding the symbolism behind our fantasies and our dreams and everything. Go deeper into your subconscious and understand why. All right. What are these symbols of that are coming in a form of a sexual fantasy? Another nice practice is eye gazing, which I love. Eye gazing with your partner for a few seconds. And another really great practice for women is, or also for men, to eye gaze with a man. If it's a woman, then you choose a man that you don't really know necessarily, and eye gaze with him for a few minutes, for a while. Be open while you do that. Smile, right? Smiling just helps you be open in your feminine essence. And notice what's happening, because a lot of men will be really great mirrors for us, to bring out any fear or discomfort that we have from the masculine, right? So especially it's a man that we don't really know, or we're not, I mean, obviously be safe with this man, right? Don't just choose a man off the street, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a man that you're in a relationship with, right? Just for us to, we kind of help each other to be mirrors for each other. And also for men, choose a woman that you also of course feel safe with, but you don't necessarily have to know her, but ask her to eye gaze with you and see if there are any stories or ideas or feelings that surface for you when it comes to the feminine, when it comes to sex, when it comes to your own fantasies. This is a really great work because we need each other as mirrors. And so perhaps you even have a fantasy that you're not aware of at all, and you want to bring it up into the surface. So this is one way to do it that I can share here. All right. So again, I really recommend you read the part of sexual fantasies in my Sex Magic Evolution book. The link is down below. It's a big book. It will take you deeper if you let it. It's a preparation for initiation. So it's not a fluffy book. It will cut through all the shit and take you to where you need to go for you to prepare to be initiated into the true wisdom of sex magic and sacred sexuality. My name is Luna Aura. I'm a priestess of the temple. I am a servant of the mother, and I pray for sacred union on planet Earth. Thank you.